Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and the largest fanfiction website just got shut down by an ongoing DDoS attack. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, there's a website known as Archive of Our Own. Now, you might have heard of this website, you might not have, but according to right now, they are gone. Connection timed out. Cloudflare appears to be working, but their website is not. Now, for those of you who don't know what Archive of Our Own is, it's a fan-created, fan-run, non-profit, non-commercial archive for transformative fan works like fan fiction, fan art, fan videos. So for anybody wondering, they've got 57,170 fandoms they've covered, 5.6 million users, and they've got 10.9 million pieces of work. Now, for anybody who knows fan fiction, it can be something simple and wholesome, like Caillou's cancer is cured, and all the way it can get really degenerate, like the most insane furry degeneracy we've ever seen by the likes of mankind. Truly, fan fiction is a spectrum, all right? But of course, you know what also is a spectrum? DDoS attacks. Now, for those of you who don't know what a DDoS attack is, it's a distributed denial of service attack, and it's basically when a group sends enough traffic to a website to effectively shut it down and render it inoperable. You might be like, what, Muda? How does it work? I've talked about it before, but I'll talk about it again, only in a little bit. Let's start off with what actually happened. Who's attacking and why? Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a group known as Anonymous Sudan, all right? So Anonymous exists everywhere all around the world, but sometimes there are branches of Anonymous, not really branches, just people from certain countries. You could have Anonymous Pakistan. Heck, I could be running Anonymous Canada for crying out loud. You'll never know. But of course, one of the messages over here to the AO3 admins and fans. We bear the good news that we will continue attacking AO3 and will not stop anytime soon. It makes zero difference to us. Only person harmed here are the pedo admins of AO3. What they believe to be bad. All right, one of the reasons they're going at it. Okay. Now again, I'm not here to start a turf war in the comment section below. I'm a cybersecurity guy. I'm just looking at the attack here. Okay. Let's just calm down. There are far other channels for that kind of stuff if you want to get into debates about this. Anyways, we can bypass any protection you put. We'll make sure the site goes off for the longest time possible as your experts scratch their heads cluelessly to find a solution. Now, in a lot of this, they've also decided to put in a ransom. So it seems like this is, like all hacks, mostly financially motivated, okay? So it should be clear to you by now, it's practically impossible to mitigate our DDoS attack. You need to be realistic and check our history. So they said they have 24 hours from the time of posting to fill up this Bitcoin wallet with 30,000 US dollars. 24 hours has not passed. But of course, if you look into this Bitcoin address real quickly, one cursory glance will show you they've got, I'm going to hit F5, $2.19. Now, you might be wondering, that's a far cry from $30,000, Muda, and that's true. And if this doesn't get filled up, this attack could go on, crippling the site, believe it or not, for weeks. Now, according to the fellows at AO3, the archive is experiencing some issues. Yeah, of course it is, because it's inoperable. We apologize for any distress, absolutely. But this site is completely running on volunteer power, so it's not like they have, trained engineers that can help mitigate these massive volumes of requests, which we'll look into in a little bit. Now, they even mentioned that the group, Anonymous Sudan, presenting themselves as a collective of religiously and politically motivated hackers, has claimed responsibility for the attack. Experts do not believe they are honest about their motivation, as we urge caution in believing any reasoning they provide for targeting AO3. So, of course, generally there's been a lot of, kerfuffle in amongst people, maybe wondering if this is led by some Islamic group, cyber attacking group on the internet. Most experts in the field actually don't believe this to be the fact. They believe this is just a false attribution, like these people are just faking, like, being in this organization. And they might actually have their ties back home to the old Russian Federation. So actually, in the last month, CISA actually issued a DDoS warning about attacks on multiple actual US organizations. So here they say that all US organizations are advised to take proactive measures to ensure their security teams are ready to thwart any attack. So they even actually mentioned the name Anonymous Sudan, and they said at the start of the week, Anonymous Sudan claimed they'd take down the website of EFTPS.gov, the US Treasury Department's electronic federal tax payment system. Oh boy, are they actually encroaching onto the dollar bills of the US government? Ooh. Let me tell you, if you didn't piss off Uncle Sam, if you thought you didn't piss off Uncle Sam, oh, trust me, you got under his skin right there. The moment you get between Uncle Sam and their bread, it's over, boys. They're sending the fucking attack squads over to your house. Now, to understand what is a DDoS attack, Muda, and why is this nearly impossible to fix? So to understand, DDoS attacks are actually really easy to do. In fact, in a lot of cases, an attack like this could cost you thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. And the way that it works is, obviously, there's a lot of traffic being sent over to a specific address. Now, you might be wondering, well, Mood, are you talking about people pinging you? No, I'm not talking about just pinging a website, nonstop. That might have worked never, simply because most modern routing systems and firewall systems and networking systems, typically if one computer sends like 400 or 500 requests, it stops reading after like the fourth request. It says, this is bullshit, we're just going to ignore this. But what happens is, in a lot of cases, a sophisticated team can use things like HTTP GET requests. In fact, a lot of them can create bots with different user agents. So in one case, they could make 10 bots, and all these bots can appear to be different versions of Windows, maybe different Linux systems, different Macs, different browsers. To the actual computer server, it'll look as if every single bot is an actual user, even if that's not necessarily the case. And generally, there will be a great variance in how many requests you're sending, what type of requests, and how you're actually flooding servers. These attacks can be incredibly simple and very easy to mitigate, or they can be incredibly complex, and this is why the site admins over here are actually working around the clock to issue a countermeasure. And even then, if you develop a countermeasure, maybe they can just change something back and forth, and this attack can go on for a long time. It's actually wild that Cloudflare is unable to deal with this, because Cloudflare is usually pretty solid when it comes to anti-DDoS situations. So clearly these guys are working around at it. They've got some resources, evidently, if they're able to keep this hack running for what appears to be weeks. Now, where a lot of experts are coming into it, they believe that it's actually carried out by Russia. So there's a cybersecurity firm known as CyberCX, which actually said that they believe it's not actually a hacktivist organization, and it's actually linked to the Russian state, because they analyzed their activities, and it was pretty much in line with how the Russian, these Russian government, backed attacking, hacking groups tend to operate as. So, of course, they went down over here and said, CyberCX said most hacktivist groups conduct their plans for operations in a semi-public way online. But Anonymous Sudan had only announced targets when they were being attacked, indicating a very closely held operation. This isn't your average Andy sitting on a Discord call running this DDoS attack. This is a group of individuals who know what they're doing, orchestrating this in a very tightly closed situation. And of course, what's obviously evident is when I'm talking about DDoS attacks, there are actually services that you can go online. They're typically known as gray hat pen testing services, where you can pay some money and test your server. Effectively, you can tell these services to DDoS attack a certain platform, and while it costs a bit of money, again, thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, for a Russian state-backed organization, that's like pennies for what they're trying to go for. Now, the reason why I kind of don't believe in it necessarily is because to attack a fanfiction website is a bit wild, okay? It's in my opinion, it's a fucking waste of resources, and it's why I'm kind of laughing during this entire situation, because it's not like they're attacking, some crazy critical infrastructure or some financial service. No, they're going after the people's fan fiction, okay? Life already kind of sucks, guys. We at least let people read their furry porn on the internet. Come on. Now, one update to the scenario shows you that while the Bitcoin wallet address still sits at $2.18, You can actually see that the website is completely back. It seems Cloudflare has jumped in alongside the volunteer staff that actually mitigated this, and it seems to be working pretty well for now. Again, who knows if these attacks could change themselves a little bit, modify some things around, and we could be back in ground zero. But this actually is one of the highest profile attacks I've seen in a while, given that I really didn't know about this website anyways, but now I do, simply because of how much of a kerfuffle it made in the world of computer security. DDoS striking what is in fact a pretty, harmless fanfiction website, so to speak. Now, do I think Anonymous Sudan is going to take this one lying down? Probably so, given the fact that this website is more operational than anything I've seen, pretty much about anything I've seen on the internet. No rate limiting, no nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's wild to see how this situation lasted a total of 6-7 hours, and it's wild to see the internet backlash, given that this was a pretty harmless website, and it was taken down like it would have been some crazy government website, so to speak, right? Like something that would raise that much awareness. But yeah, welcome back. For anybody who wants to read some fan fiction, well, your mecca is back. Anyways, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.